So I'm pulling her down, and this is what I like to call minimizing damage, okay? If I'm just here and I'm trying to set up an arm bar, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let her punch me until I catch her arm. You're gonna get 3 or 4 punches, and then the ref is gonna think you're in danger, and then they're gonna call the fight. So minimize the damage, okay? And then you can go for different submissions. But before you can go for the submissions, you need to control the position. All right, position before submission. A lot of times I like to go for submissions not to finish the submission, but to get better position so that I can ground and pound myself. In MMA, if you're on the bottom and somebody is raining down punches on you, or even if they're on top of you and they're just holding position, it looks bad. Because a lot of times they want to know who has better position. And in their minds, top position is better position. It's the controlling position. We want the judges, the world, and your opponent to know that just because you're on your back doesn't mean that you're in a vulnerable position. And there are a couple of different ways that you can show that to the judges. So here I am in my closed guard. And Melissa's doing the right thing by posturing up. She doesn't want to be close to me. And because she's going to want to rain down some punches, she's going to try to pass guard and all these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my legs and pull her into me. So I pull her into me. Now that I have her, did you see what she did with her hands? She based out with her hands. If she doesn't come this close, she's going to base out with her hand. And when they base out, that's my cue to take the bait. So I'm going to overhook one of her arms, and I'm going to trap it. Okay, so I'm overhooking and I'm trapping her arm. So now she can't punch me with this side. Okay, and then I'm going to, same thing that you do if you're on top, except for we're going to do it on bottom, and I'm going to control her bicep and control this arm so she can't punch me with this arm. So now it's a neutral position. Even if she wanted to punch me, she can't. Go ahead. Okay, so now it's a neutral position, but I don't want a neutral position. I want a dominant position. So I want to get to one hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my guard, okay, and I'm going to swivel to one hip. I'm going to swivel to my left hip because I have control of her right arm, okay? So I'm going to take my butt and shrimp out that way, and then my knee, my right knee, is going to control her, is it your right or your left? Her left shoulder. Okay, so I'm still holding on to this overhook, and I'm holding on to her bicep, so I'm controlling the position, okay? And then I'm going to hip out. So if you see my butt is out from underneath her now. Now I have control of the situation. And what I want to do is I want to take this knee, and I want to trap her shoulder. Here I have a lot of different options, but it's hard for her to move, and now she's in a compromised position. So from here, you can kick this leg over, and you can go for an omoplata. You have to control this, okay? You see I kick my leg over her face, and once you're here, you're gonna flip your feet up, get to your shoulders, and grab her hip. Controlling the shoulder, because if I don't, she's just gonna pull her arm out, like a noodle. Like a noodle, yeah, okay? So you don't want her to pull her arm out, so you can control this elbow right here, so you're holding it in, and her hand is going into your pocket, okay? That's your little pocket. So now that we're here, I'm going to scoot out, scoot, and I'm gonna flatten her out. Once I flatten her out, I'm gonna hold this position, and I'm going to rock forward until she taps, okay? This is also just a position, you don't have to go for the omoplata. You can just use that submission to get good position. What position am I in now? I'm in a way better position than I was just a second ago. I have her back. When you have their back, you can do so many different things. I can just pin her down, I can get my hooks in, I can go for punches, I can stand up if I want, but I have options. So I pulled her down, up, securing this overhook. I got her bicep. I'm gonna hip out. Here, I'm pinching her shoulder. You can also, from here, hold this position. I'm going to let go of this far arm because I'm going to do a technical get up, okay? So from here, I'm going to kind of crunch forward, and I'm pulling my left arm back, okay? So now I go elbow, my left arm is back, I'm still controlling this, and I'm going to free my bottom leg out, My bottom leg is out, okay? Now I can do what I want. This is something that I like to come to because if we stand up, I still have good position. I can throw knees, I can throw elbows, I can break, I can do the holly home. So I'm pulling her down, and this is what I like to call minimizing damage, okay? If I'm just here and I'm trying to set up an arm bar, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let her punch me until I catch her arm. You're gonna get 3 or 4 punches, and then the ref is gonna think you're in danger, and then they're gonna call the fight. So minimize the damage, okay? And then you can go for different submissions. But before you can go for the submissions, you need to control the position. All right, position before submission. A lot of times I like to go for submissions not to finish the submission, but to get better position so that I can ground and pound myself. Those are just a couple of things that you can remember when you're on bottom. Minimize the damage by controlling your opponent, okay? And so once you minimize the damage, then you can evaluate what you want to do. Do you want to submit them? Or do you want to sweep them? Or do you want to get up? And at that point, once you've controlled the situation, then you can choose what you want to do. Yeah? All right, go try it.